Astros make another trade, and it was one that we talked about possibly happening. The Boston Red Sox are town. Starting catcher Christian Vazquez is now the newest member of the Houston Astros. Now, the terms have not been named as to who the Astros are sending to the Red Sox, but it is pending a physical, and we'll see what Mark Berman said when he asked what Christian Vazquez said when Mark Berman asked him, what do you think about being traded to the Astros? I think he was just as shocked as you and I are. So let's get started with another Locked On Astros edition, breaking Treadline Show.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast, or in this case, an hourly Locked On Astros podcast. We are talking Astros baseball. We're walking you through the entire trade deadline. We did a extra show last night. We did 2 shows today, and we're hoping we do another show. But this is definitely another big move. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on Twitter at Eric Talk Stros. Find the show at Locked On Astros. Your team every day. Brett, where can you find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on Twitter and Instagram, and at Stros411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive. I'm loving the World Series chances again. Always Stros.
All right, so in this case, you have Christian Vazquez coming from the Red Sox, and he was actually in the Red Sox lineup for today's game, and he was sitting around in batting cages, and they're like, hey, you've been traded to the Astros, and so so the reporters were like, can you confirm that you've been traded to the Astros? He's like, yeah, I think so. So this was a situation kind of like what we had last year with Abraham Toro. Jeff Passan said the Houston Astros are finalizing the deal to acquire catcher Christian Vazquez from the Boston Red Sox. And Mark Berman, I believe, was the first one to say that it was officially done. And it was done for 2 minor leaguers. I don't think we exactly know who those 2 minor leaguers are yet as of this moment. They said that it's they're waiting on a physical, but this is a definite upgrade at the catching position, a definite upgrade at the backup catcher, starting catcher, whatever you want to think of this as. Who knows what they're going to do with Martin Maldonado.
Well, I mean, Martin Maldonado's going to still be here. He's got 13 more games to catch, and this is a rental. And when I say 13 more games, we had mentioned it on the previous show that 13 more games, he gets to 90 games caught, which gives him his vesting option. They plan on paying him that vesting option of $5 million. That's coming from the Astros. And so I don't think it is a thing of just removing Martin Maldonado from the catching position. This is going to be a platoon position. Let me tell you why Vasquez is such a big grab, okay? You grab guys that are good against your opponents. The Yankees went out and got Montas and Trevino. Those guys have been nails against the Astros. Who hits Yankee pitching very well? Christian Vazquez. This kid is a Yankee killer. He absolutely obliterates Yankee pitching. He's not afraid. He's been in the big moment. And so you get a Boston Red Sox type player, a grinder, and a hard-nosed guy. When Mark Berman asked him, hey, what do you think about being traded? He said, I don't know. It's a business. Like, he literally had his mind blown. He didn't know he was being traded. How do you go from batting cages with the Red Sox, all of a sudden you're walking 150 feet or so to the next clubhouse? So it may be a little different for the next couple of days for Vasquez, but I think this is absolutely a winner of a great move because he's maybe a rental, but you only give up 2 minor leaguers. More than likely, maybe they give away one of their catching prospects. I'm not sure. Maybe a Luke Berryhill down in Double-A. I don't know. I'm just saying they're going to get someone that they need. And if they lost Vasquez, they probably want another catching prospect. So it may be someone from the hooks, I wouldn't just look at the Spaceland Cowboys.
Yeah, and I believe that the Astros are really trying to hold on to Yainer Diaz. This is somebody that the Astros really look highly after, and I'm sure that a lot of teams are after Diaz as well. So I don't think that he was included in this deal. I think if Diaz is traded, it's for a much bigger target. But I think Vasquez is a definite rental. So both players. I mean, I know Mancini can technically. There's a mutual option for 2023 for $10 million, and but at the same time, that doesn't mean. So we'll talk about that later. But definitely, this upgrades the lineup, and Vasquez can also play first base, like we talked about yesterday. He's played, I believe, 26 games in his career at first base. So this is something that you can also put him there. You can also put him at DH, but you definitely have to find some time to split him. This is not going to be a Corey Lee anymore. Corey Lee will go back to AAA, get some more experience there, and just go there. So we'll see what happens in the situation, how Martin Maldonado handles this. But I think that he knows who he is. He knows that he's had one of the better Julys that of any Astro, and so I'm sure he's going to understand that this is not against him. This is just Astros doing what they can to win another World Series. And Christian Vazquez is a good catcher. He's also a good hitter. And on the season, let me just go and give you the stats real quick. He's batting .282 with 8 home runs, 42 RBIs. He's got an OPS of 759. His OPS plus is not the best, but it's better than league average at 108. He does have 20 doubles. He has 1 stolen base. He does have 51 strikeouts in 318 plate appearances in 84 games. And so, as in terms of his positional breakdowns, he's played 78 games this year at catcher, 9 games at first base, and he's made 1 appearance at second base. He did not start the game at second base, but he's made 1 appearance at second base. So you're muted.
Yeah, I just, again, I like this play. I like getting this catcher. He's, 280 right now, an OPS plus over 100, 108. I mean, and like I said, this kid, I mean, if you go back to the 2018 playoffs where the Red Sox won the World Series, I believe when they were in Yankee Stadium, he found the short porch. He knows how to hit in that stadium. And you want a guy who's battle tested. You want a guy who has playoff experience. We talked about Mancini not having that. Here you bring a veteran catcher who's a hard-nosed guy. Some people have said here and there that maybe he's a little tough to get along with in the clubhouse. I haven't heard that. But if this guy's a serious all-business type of guy, he can come in, fit in well, even if he's a rental, be a major part of winning another ring. And even with this, I don't think the Astros are done, Eric. I just don't think they are.
Yeah. So if you look at, I know he's still in Red Sox gear because the Red Sox are about to play the Astros at Minute Park. So we definitely, I don't know if he's going to play for the Astros tonight. That's something to be seen, but he could definitely be in the lineup tomorrow. And we'll have to see because Martin Maldonado has had a better July, but he's still batting 173 on the season, 10 home runs. His OPS plus is 64. His OPS overall is 581. But what he's known for as a defensive catcher, but same time, so is Vasquez. So you've now got 2 good defensive catchers out there, and now one of them's a good hitter as well. So now it's up to Dusty Baker to figure out the playing time. And we know that some pitchers may prefer to have Martin Maldonado back there. Some pitchers need to learn how, if they like the offensive hitter, if you want the more offensive guy, then they'll have Vasquez back there.
Yeah, and another thing, this makes you wonder, does this mean that the Astros are now going to start going for relief pitching? Is there another player that we don't know of that is in the mix? I mean, basically anything's on the table. I mean, right now, Jeff Passan just broke that the Red Sox are finalizing a deal to acquire outfielder Tommy Pham from the Cincinnati Reds. So the Red Sox are making moves for major league players. They lose one, they gain one. And so right now, the red hot as teams are making left and right. And Eric, I'm just going to if the Astros have surprised us with two moves in a row, why aren't they going to? Why wouldn't they surprise us with the third? Because the third time's the charm, right? So there's got to be something out there that happens because both of these moves, nobody was really calling for it. Now we talked about the likelihood of Vasquez. We talked about that happening, but it just didn't seem to really be on the radar. We didn't know where it was going. We knew other teams were pursuing him. I absolutely love this. I think these two moves make us stronger. And people that were saying, well, if we're not getting better, we're getting worse. Well, we just got better. We just got better as a team. And I don't think they'll have any problem fitting in this clubhouse. Our clubhouse is a perfect place to get mixed matched and thrown in, kind of like I said trade line instead of trade deadline. I mashed those two words. Like it's chaos right now. Like the time continuum is about to explode. I mean, we're about to enter some multiverse. I don't even know what's happening right now, but the Houston Astros are more poised to win the World Series today than they were yesterday. But I still believe, I still would like to see relief pitching, and I wouldn't be brokenhearted if we got another player.
I was about to eat and I was all hungry, but I wish I had a Built Bar right now. That would be perfect for me to eat just because I'm super hungry, and I'm sure that Mancini on his flight to Houston would be wanting a Built Bar too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Built Bar is the best taste protein in the land. If you go to Built Bar right now, you've got amazing flavors. They've got Built Puffs, they've got Built Bars, they've got granola bars. I had a granola bar today. They're amazing. The puffs though are filled with they are a collagen filled marshmallow puff wrapped in 100% chocolate. They're healthy for you. They have a whopping 15 grams of protein in them, only 130 calories. It's a perfect treat. It's a great way to cure your sweet tooth and not break your diet bank. That's right. Like Built Bars, they have new cookie dough chunk puffs covered in 100% real chocolate. That means they're healthy and tasty. Chocolate covered cookie dough with a light, fluffy texture. So good. What's great about Built is that they are bars that are made from the collagen protein. Like I said, why is that important? Because you absorb the collagen protein more efficiently. So go to built.com and use a promo code LOCK15 for 15% off your order. Use a promo code LOCK15 at built.com.
Alrighty, so I was talking with Brandon, the baseball lawyer, earlier, and he said that this was before the Vasquez trade, but he was like, now that the Astros have Mancini, how about they still go out and get Bell? Because now the Astros can say, you know what, we would like to have Josh Bell, but we don't need Josh Bell anymore. We have Mancini. So maybe that gives the Astros a little bit more leverage in trade talks. So, and who knows what trades are out there? I mean, just the Astros now have leverage where they don't have to, they don't really have to be, they're not really have to be super aggressive. They just have to see what's out there, and who knows who can fall in their hands because teams are going to start to panic and they're going to be like, okay, well, what would you give us for this player? Because they're going to start panicking closer to the trade deadline. And what James Click has done is he has basically put himself in a position where he's already improved at catching and at first base or potentially outfield if they feel comfortable with Mancini in outfield. We haven't really heard much about where they're going to play Mancini yet. But what are your thoughts about Bell still coming to Houston?
See, I don't know. Like I want to tell you that I mean that would be the perfect scenario, but with Mancini, I just don't see it.
Right.
Like there is another player that everybody says isn't coming here that is going to the Padres. He's a big player. He's in his early 20s, if you know what I'm talking about. Juan Soto's still out there. Shohei Ohtani's still out there. I'm just throwing names on the table because right now I'm all about throwing spaghetti on the wall. And if Juan Soto spaghetti sticks, I'm game for it. If Shohei Ohtani spaghetti sticks, I'm game for it. Now, I'm not saying that those are likely to happen, but if these two things happen this quickly, I think everything is in play. I think Mantiply is in play. I mean, Hap may be in play. Contreras isn't. But I mean, we may do a Matt Brown style, stack the deck, keep players from other teams, and let's just go basically get the whole league behind us and win us another World Series. What I like about Mancini, Eric, is he's here, right? Isn't he here after this year, or is he just a rental?
Who Mancini? He's
Yeah,
got a mutual option for
mutual option.
2023
Okay.
for 10 million.
So So we have a possibility of keeping him. Vasquez may be a rental, but he may be someone that sticks around depending on what his asking price is, right? And so you don't know what this is going to bring you. But I do know this, that James Click is still working hard. Where we think he's done, like this has come fast yeah, I mean, at light speed. And I absolutely love it for this team.
We don't know what the Astros gave up for at this point Vasquez. I think that they're still waiting on the physical and possibly to tell the other players that they have been traded. But as of this moment at 6:02 p.m. Central Time, we do not know. But as far as we know, the Astros have not traded any of their top prospects. Now, Shohei Ohtani, he is not going anywhere. So
Oh, I
that's
know.
I don't know
I'm
why
just
you even
completely
brought that up, but
okay.
Juan
Well,
Soto would be a pipe dream. And you know how you could get a Juan Soto is if you take somebody like a Patrick Corbin off their hands, possibly throw a Christian Javier, give them a few of our top prospects like a Hunter Brown, and maybe a few
oh,
of.
I just
I mean,
like
if you want Juan Soto and like him
I
in
know, I
outfield,
know. Hey, listen, hey, just let me
I'm
enjoy the
just
Juan
saying.
Soto part. Don't kick my dog while you're at it, okay? Don't rip my heart out now. I mean, at least let us get through dinner and a movie before you like crush me and break up with me. I mean, really, it's like, dude, like I'm just saying, these two moves, and I know we talked about Christian Vazquez, but I didn't think these moves would happen this quickly. And there's got to be something else out there that we're not hearing. And I absolutely love the fact that the Yankees are mentioned in every freaking trade known to man, and they make one or they make some minor move. And Yankees fans think, oh, the Yankees are they're going to get everybody. We're going to get everybody because we're the evil empire. And no, you're not. You got Garrett Cole, and you still haven't won Jack. Okay, so at the end of the day, the Astros are tooling up properly, and I don't know. Like, I want Juan Soto here just because it would be fun. It would just be awesome because the league would hate it. But that Patrick Corbin contract, dude, that is
It's
not a
24
contract.
million next year,
No.
35 million the next year.
Well, then you
And
can
he
forget
is
signing Kyle Tucker if you do that.
well, I know, but you would get somebody like him, like
Patrick
Juan
Corbin is
Soto.
not having a good year. You
Oh,
would get Juan Soto, but you're gonna get Juan Soto, and you're gonna sacrifice Kyle Tucker for Juan Soto.
oh, it's just a pipe dream, and so I'm just trying to give you an idea of what could
I know.
happen.
Oh, I know. Well, see, now you talked me off the Juan Soto ledge. I don't want it anymore.
So yeah, it was a pipe dream in the first place, but just something that you can think of. But no, I don't know if the Astros are going to do too much else because, like I've talked about on the other podcast, by improving at first base and at catcher, you now have the ability to kind of maybe put Alvarez more in left field more often, and then you have now moved the ability to put Chas McCormick or Dubon more in center field, put Myers down in AAA. So I don't see the Astros moving for a bat unless there's something that's just too good to pass up. But I think the Astros have addressed two of their three weak spots in the order. And
Yeah.
I think the only thing that you can look at right now is possibly a reliever. Josh Hader was never going to come to Houston. I think the package that the Padres gave up, including their closer, was too much. The Astros were never going to come close to that. As much as that would be a nice get, I just don't think that would have been an option for the Astros.
Yeah, someone asked here, Nintendo Play says, do you think we keep on the spinning spree and get a center fielder now? I just don't see a center fielder that's really out there that we want. I haven't heard us tied to Ian Happ at all. Brian Reynolds has not happened. I think we've talked about that several times on here. The Pirates are not sellers. They are standing pat with what they have. I don't know. Maybe the Tigers have someone early in the trade deadline said Akil Badu, but Akil Badu has had a really bad year. He hasn't been great, and so I think the Astros are going to be looking at relief pitcher. They're going to be looking for a left-handed arm, and then they're gonna make offers. If they see someone they like that can add to this team, Eric, they're absolutely going to make a play for them. But James Click did say we're not going to mortgage the future. We're not going to give away future contention possibilities for immediate success now. And right now, I still think the Astros are the team to beat. I don't see I don't see the Yankees beating us. I just, until they do it, it's not going to be done. And, I don't know, maybe this is their year, but I think we got better. And I think James Click is doing one heck of a job.
Yeah, Jim Crane said that on Trey Mancini. He said he's good bat and he's a good guy, and we think he'll fit in well. We still have some things that we want to do, and he also said, "Yeah, I think we'll still get a few more deals done." So he did say a few more deals done. So few means more than
Hold on, a few. That means like three.
yes.
Because a couple is two, a few is three, several is like seven. So let's say three more deals. James Click
Well,
is going to have a statue outside the stadium if we go to the World Series and win it the next 2 years.
Well, yeah, that's just what the Astros are trying to do is just improve all the weaknesses. The rest of the deals may not be like super sexy, but it may be something like I said in the spaces. I was like just like a who's the guy I said the lefty we used to have Brooks Raley type of reliever, just somebody like that, just somebody cheap. I know a lot of people want to go after Andrew Chafin. That may be an option. But if the Astros do end up playing the Blue Jays, he needs to be vaccinated because we're not going to trade for this guy and then not have him in the big time playoffs. There's also some people in the Tigers organization that the Astros could be trading for,
Right.
but so there's a lot of moves still on the table, and we have 23 hours left before the trade deadline. So I was not worried about Click not doing anything. He was waiting out, trying to get the best deal done. And I think if you're looking at the best catcher available, Wilson Contreras was probably it. But if you're looking for plan B, I mean, maybe Sean Murphy for his long termness. I think he was probably B. But for
Well,
just what they can do, Christian Vazquez is the best option for 2022.
right. Well, I think overall Murphy is the best overall prospect for this club because of how many years of control he has. Like you would rather get a guy with control, but his price tag was off the table. So that may have been like if you're grading him A, B, C, D, E, F, or whatever. I think an A move would have been Murphy, right? But that A
Right.
move comes at a high cost, comes at an A price. Where Vasquez, you got to be probably at a C price, to be quite honest, since he's a rental. Now, if Vasquez had like a year and a half on his contract or 2 years, this deal probably doesn't get done because Boston then drives the price up on you because they want something back for the control they're giving you. And let's see how this works out. I mean, it may be a little awkward at first. I mean, he's literally played for the Red Sox for 8 years. You haven't known anything other than Boston. You've battled the Astros in every postseason. And the Astros outside of 2018 have absolutely owned the Red Sox in the playoffs. So you got kind of those things floating around. But I think this clubhouse is able to meld with anybody coming in.
All right, so Martin Maldonado and Christian Vasquez are both right-handed hitters, so we'll have to look at the splits to see how they do compared to lefties versus righties. But I'm sure that they're going to use pure analytics to do this, or they're going to have a talk with Maldonado and be like, "Look, we like you as a catcher, but we traded for this guy. We gave up two prospects." So I think we're going to hand the job over to Vasquez. You've had a great July, but we want to see what this guy can do for us, and we want to see if he has a future for the Astros. But I still think that they want to keep him with the Astros for next year, so they'll let his option vest and everything. So we'll see what happens in terms of the catching situation. I think the only one who will know this is Dusty Baker. And once he can officially talk about things,
Yeah.
he will address this probably after the game. Go ahead.
Well, one of the things is too, Vasquez is Evaldi's personal catcher, and Evaldi's pitching tonight. So that immediately changes the catching situation. So that's an interesting play. Like you would have thought the Red Sox would have been like, can we wait until the next day to get this done or after the game? But yeah, and that's probably why he was shocked. I mean, he was in the batting cages. He was preparing to play the game. So
Yeah. So the the White Sox, according to Jesse Rogers, have traded catcher Reese McGuire to the Red Sox. So they traded their catcher away. So they need a catcher. So the White Sox have traded them a catcher. So we'll see what happens over the next few days. I know a lot of people in the chat are saying that the Astros still need a center fielder, but they can't trade their entire farm system for just to totally rehaul their lineup. They've already given up Jose Siri. They've already still given up. We don't know who these two prospects are yet, as far as I know. But I don't know if they're gonna go out and get a center fielder like Ian Happ or anything like that. So we'll see what happens. I do know that that Alex Bregman was placed on paternity list. The last podcast, I said that he was not. Taylor Jones was recalled from AAA. That's a benefit for having the AAA team in Sugarland. So there's a lot of trades going there. If you're looking at Christian Vazquez, he has the 108 OPS and a 111 WRC plus and 318 plate appearances. And the Crawford boxes should help increase Trey Mancini's homer production. That's what Connor said on our podcast earlier. So I'm excited to see these two guys in action. And Christian Vazquez was the guy that hit a big home run against the Astros. I believe he's done it several times. So it's good to see this guy not facing the Astros. So we'll see what happens when he gets in the Astros lineup. I'm curious to hear Dusty's thoughts about this trade. And
Yeah.
are the
Well,
Astros done? Yeah.
oh, well, I mean, obviously they're not done. He just said they've got a few more trades. Michael A. Taylor is another guy that's mentioned. He would be somewhat lower level cost for center field if you want to do that. I just think you ride the Chas McCormick and Jake Myers train. I don't really know if you're doing these other moves. I mean, who knows? Maybe they go get a center fielder. Maybe they go get another. Like maybe make a massive splash, like the biggest splash the Astros ever made in their history. Maybe Jim Crane's like, you know what? I'm tired of the vitriol. I'm tired of the hatred. I'm tired of 17. We need to do whatever it takes to win. And Jim Crane is that kind of person. He's very shrewd. He's a very shrewd businessman. And that's why he's so successful. I don't think it's outside of Jim Crane to say, go get whatever horses you got to get so we can take out the league and let them know who's boss.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, the Yankees went out and got Frankie Montas today, and that was probably a result of the fact that he pitches pretty good against the Astros. So let's not deny that. No, Mike Trout is not coming to the Astros. I would love to see him with the Astros, but I
Well,
don't
but he
think.
used the word trust, so that means like you can like, come on, man, like for real, like no cap, Mike Trout to the Astros.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right. So yeah, so I think I with these moves, I know JJ Matijevic will most likely go down. Corey Lee will most likely go down at this point. So we'll see what happens from there. Then once Bregman gets off the paternity list, and Taylor Jones will go down. So we'll see what happens. I would like to see one more move for a center fielder. The Josh Lowe trade idea was kind of intriguing for me. He's a guy that had top prospect status. I know his major league career has not gone off to a great start, but they just traded for Jose Siri instead of having him play. So that should say something for the Rays, what they think of him. So maybe that wasn't a good move anyway. So Ian Happ is somebody that's out there, but like at the same time, how much do you want to rake over the farm system for 2022? And we still don't even know who they gave up for Vasquez. And
yeah.
uh,
So Montas has been actually in Oakland. He's 4-2. I didn't find his record for the Astros when they were in Houston, but he does have a good record against him. But that's why you get someone like a Christian Vazquez. That's why you that's why you get someone like a Trey Mancini who maybe hasn't seen him where he doesn't really have a scouting report. I see some Yankees fans have jumped into our mentions here on the show, and hey, I appreciate you watching because This is where you come to see where championship baseball is played. We got guys like Jose Altuve who absolutely own your team. I mean, y'all have a chant dedicated just for the best hitter on the planet, and y'all can't seem to sign Aaron Judge, so that's great. So come here for the championship talk, because in October, when the Astros are in the World Series, you guys will be sitting on the couch with Aaron Judge, who's going to be a free agent and go to San Francisco next year. So you can bring all the smoke you want to, but until you beat us, you ain't us. And that's why we get the hate from y'all, but that's okay. We're the major leagues, y'all the minor leagues. Get on our level. But bottom line, we're the gold standard.
The Red Sox traded Jake Diekman to the White Sox for catcher Reese McGuire. So I know that we talked about Jake Diekman on his Spaces earlier this week. So he's out of reach, and I don't think the Astros will be making another trade with the Red Sox. But so we'll see what happens over the next 23 hours. But I don't think the Astros are done. Will they go out and make a big splash? I don't know who's out there left for a big splash. Are they pipe dreaming, Juan Soto type thing? I don't think so. But it's kind of fun to think about. But how much would you have to give up? But it'll be fun to have him in the lineup. But like somebody said, would you have to, if you did trade for him, take on Patrick Corbin's contract? You would maybe have to lose Kyle Tucker down the road. So there's a lot of what ifs with that contract. But it was fun to kind of think about it. Josh Bell, is he still option? Who knows? You could put Mancini in left field. We do have the short porch with Crawford boxes out there, so that could be option. Or like I said earlier, you can have Alvarez out in left field. He's shown that he can play left field for you, and then you could put McCormick and Myers in center field, or even Dubon out there. So there's going to be a lot of playing time available, and I think Baker's just going to go with the hot person, or the one that the analytics says go play with in center field, if you don't go out there and make a trade for a center fielder.
Or, the bottom line is this. When we look at the roster, when we go into this season, and we all know what's going to happen, inevitably it's going to be the Astros and the Yankees in the ALCS. And no offense to the National League, that is absolutely going to be the World Series. That should be the World Series, because we are the two best teams. Now, we can't solely go off a regular season, because if we did, then the Astros win hands down. There was only 2 innings where y'all won because there was extra innings judged, but y'all haven't led a single inning this year. In the playoffs, we've absolutely owned the Yankees. And at the end of the day, all the talk about 17 and trash cans, I mean, that's all fine and good. But until you guys show up to the playoffs and actually play Major League ball, unlike you did last year with Garrett Cole and totally choked in the divisional series or whatever that wild card game was, like, I don't want to hear it. And the Astros have actually shown the Yankees, the Red Sox, and everybody else how to sustain success. 5 straight ALCS, about to go to our 6th, and a 4th World Series. And so at the end of the day, we can go back and forth and we can have fun and banter back and forth. I want the Yankees fully healthy. Bookmark it. I want the Yankees fully healthy. I want the Astros fully healthy. Let's put 2 of the best teams healthy against each other, and let's see who wins. And you know what? If at the end of the day the Yankees win, then I'll tip my hat to you. But until you beat us, you're not better than us. Period. You can say it. You can say 27 rings all you want to, but it's what have you done for me lately? And y'all haven't done anything since 2009. We are the standard. Get on our level. I'm done.
Alrighty. So with that being said, we are going to do another podcast after the game. And guys, if you are just tuning into the Locked On Astros podcast for the first time, please subscribe to us. We are going up and up in subscribers, but we're trying to get to 5,000. And tell a friend about us. We're 600 people in this live stream right now. We are on YouTube. We are on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Make the Locked On Astros podcast your first listen. I'm supposed to be eating dinner right now, but I decided to go ahead and do this because this is a big moment. Christian Vazquez is a good deal and for the Astros, and I think the Astros lineup is a lot better than it was when we all woke up this morning, and the Astros' chances of winning World Series were already good. But now this increases the chances of, instead of being a maybe 3-0 game in the playoffs, maybe it'll be a 5-0 game or something like that. I mean, maybe not to nothing, but you know what I mean. I think the
And
offense has gone up a little bit.
and I'll just say this, and in all my criticism and all my homerism and all my fandom for the Astros, I don't say that because I don't respect the Yankees. I very much respect what the Yankees bring, but the Yankees have no room to talk. If the role was reversed and you guys had owned us in the playoffs and you guys had owned us in the World Series, I wouldn't be saying this because I would look like a fool. So at the end of the day, you stick to your team, you cheer for your team, and you do you. I'm going to do me. And at the end of the day, the best team that wins, you shake their hand and say, "Great game," and go beat the National League because it's all about the American League ruling things. So that's what I'm going to say. Thank y'all, Yankees fans and other fans, for tuning into our show. We're here to talk about baseball. Why? Because it's a game we love and it's a sport and it makes life fun.
And Nintendo Play wants us to talk about Joey Gallo. Will the Astros trade for Joey Gallo and move Kyle Tucker to center field?
No.
No. First of all, I don't think the Astros and Yankees will ever agree on a
Joey
trade.
Gallo deserves to either play in Arlington or in Mexico with Mike Fiers and Josh Reddick. I'm sorry. Joey Gallo does not deserve to be. He got
What
Yankees.
did
Why
Josh
don't
Reddick do?
He's playing in Mexico. I'm just
I know,
saying.
but what did he do?
He didn't do anything wrong. I'm just saying he's down there playing in Mexico. I'm just saying, like, Joey
Okay.
Gallo deserves to be playing in a league that's not the major leagues. I mean, Yankees, why did y'all get him? I have no idea.
Oh, I
Anyways,
think that it's the power of the beard. When he had to shave the beard, he lost it. But
yeah, him
no,
and Marlon Brando.
I don't think it's the. I don't think Gallo is the player the Astros need. Yes, he has a lot
No.
of power, but he also strikes out a lot. So I don't think that's the type of guy the Astros need. So, thank you for all the comments. Thank y'all, everybody, for
Yeah.
joining us all day, and make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. And we got a game coming up, and I actually got a parent meeting I got to go to. So that's all we got for this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast. Go Stros, and we'll be back soon. Go Stros.